Hello folks, and welcome to another Bitcoin market analysis by Inspocrypto. Well, today it's absolutely not exciting. A very controlled market today, really controlled. You can see my trend channel here. We had some deviations. We had here a deviation. It's not really a bull trap. I don't know what happened here, to be honest, but however, and then we have the bear trap here. We lifted up. I just went short here. I closed my short here, and I missed my long here because I was just in a business meeting. But as tweeted, at 18,750 was my expected bounce. Expected. It wasn't unclear if we are going just to bounce there, but we are in a downward trend. That's bullish. That's not bearish. Only bearish if that's a trap. That could be bearish then. Otherwise, it doesn't look that bad to go up, indicating by that downward channel here. So some people are right now discussing if, well, potentially 50 BPS are priced in, or even 75 BPS is priced in, and what would happen if 100 BPS? Well, first of all, it's pure speculation. I wouldn't spend any second to talk about that. We can do that, of course, but the market also demonstrated in the past, even it was bearish, they pushed up. So it's going to be gambling tomorrow. I mean, Fed will rise and hike interest rates as long as the inflation maintains high and above of 2%. That's a clear announcement by the Fed. They are not going to shift away from it. Absolutely not. And as mentioned, the only way where I see a potential scenario for a pivot would be if they see that the inflation is declining in a pace that they need to control, so to stop to hike rates and at the same time a pivot. Just to try to maintain the 2% or to reach the 2% level on inflation to avoid any kind of potentially go below of 2%, so below even to go to a negative, that's deflation then, because that could be a big challenge for any central bank. Something that can happen. That can happen in a way where the masses, retailers, citizens just adapt to the environment and stop to consume. That's the worst case in one economy. So we will see. I really don't have any idea because the inflation, I mean, Joe Biden wouldn't agree with my statement now, it seems, after the 60 Minutes interview. But, you know, I mean, the inflation in the US maintains at 8.3%, and it declined just by 0 to 0.2%. Is that meaning that the inflation spiked, like he said, for example, in the 60 Minutes interview? I don't think so, because in my opinion, still the inflation just declined because of the crude oil price dump. Something after the OPEC Plus announcement to reduce the production of crude oil again, it should be very bullish for crude oil and its price. So that would indicate me that inflation could go up even more later on. And I mean, the both main drivers are exactly that: crude oil, energy in general, and food and energy. I mean, we have a correlation. You have to transport the food. So, and of course, you need other things also to produce food. So everything correlates very well, and usually we have a delay. So I can imagine that even the next CPIs could go down a little bit more, but I don't think that it's potentially bring us to 5%, 4% or something. So maybe we will go down for another 0.2 or 3%, but that's it. That's it. Politically interesting because Joe Biden will, like he said in the interview, well, I mean, it spiked and it's now going down. No, I think it's too early just to make such a statement. Only if you are looking to the midterm election, it would make sense to make such a statement in an interview where you know that millions and millions of American voters will watch this interview. But in my opinion, he is absolutely wrong. However, we will see what they are going to announce tomorrow. First of all, in the FOMC economic projections, FOMC statement. We have all these three events at the same time: Fed interest rate decisions, and then 30 minutes later, FOMC press conference. However, I think that Friday could be the most important day, just due to the fact that Powell is going to make it speak, like in 1.5 hours. So at 7 p.m. Central European Time, ECB President Lagarde is going to speak as well. Could be also very interesting and could even have an impact to DXY. So another quick topic. I blocked today a follower just because he thought it's okay to tell me what kind of friends, he said friends, I don't know, I should have and which not. It was about Jacob Silverman, the journalist from the US. I don't know him in person, but we had nice chats in the past. I like him very much. I know he is not bullish on crypto. That's fact. But something I don't see as a problem, because I'm someone that tolerates any kind of opinions. I mean, we can exchange, and sometimes you need the contrast view to see how good or something, or sometimes how bad the product or whatever you are looking for is in reality. Because sometimes we are too deep in crypto that we are not seeing also the negative things related to crypto. And it's not our case, because we are openly talking about, well, our scammers, Do Kwon, and we have talked about Tether in the past, and so on, and so forth. So for me, Ben McKenzie and Silverman are at least two journalists that have a contrary view related to crypto. But in my opinion, that's not bad at all. That's absolutely not bad at all. But to be offensive against these guys, it's absolutely something I don't want to support. And please, guys, do me a favor. We are talking about crypto, and I'm analyst. We can talk about my analysis, but don't make such a comment, because it doesn't matter who you are. I'm going to block you. I don't have any interest to be connected to you in any way then. Just to make it absolutely clear. So, let us go forward and check what the market can tell us. Weights ratio, 30 days moving average, declining even more. And we will see. I'm not going to taser it, but it looks like we will see if it's going to decline even more, because I was expecting a little bit. So indicating that whales are really just sending less bitcoins to spot exchanges. I'm still convinced that the big moves to the downward are done for this year. Not saying the bottom is in. Be careful what I'm saying right now. But for this year, and the weights ratio 30 hours moving average is at least confirming that. Doesn't mean we can go from here a little bit more lower, but I don't think that we are going to make new lows in this year from the current ones. Weights ratio 30 hours moving average. So I had just to refresh the site here again. So what we see, and something, I was expecting a little bit, that could indicate, it's too early to say that, could indicate that we are not going to visit new lows. We will go up. Usually when that happens, weights ratio 1 hour dumps to 0. That indicates that whales are not sending bitcoins to the exchanges. Usually that's a pattern that indicates we go up. It depends how many that happens. The impact, the bullish impact to the price will be even higher. So if we have 3, 4, 5 in a row, a big move to the upside is going to happen next. Next doesn't mean in the next hours, doesn't mean in the next days, can even, sometimes it takes 1 week. It depends. So that's a process. We have 2 of them. Usually, even if we have one, usually the price reacts a little bit bullish on it. So I could expect we go a little bit more higher, hitting, for example, 21.3 or something. However, also well illustrated by the weights ratio 30 hours moving average. It lifted up. While it lifted up, afterwards it started to dump in the price. That's something I always were mentioning related to weights ratio. Weights ratio doesn't, it's always, when we are using the 30 MA, it's always delayed. So when it starts to decline, okay, now the party should begin. And that's what happened here, for example. So here we had a front running. That's really the most curious thing, because we started to dump even while we were lifting up. So that's something that can happen, but usually it's not. I mean, the weights ratio here started to lift up at 88 and did 92%. And from here it started at 85 and did 90%. So even lower. So also here it makes sense. However, weights ratio right now declining, indicating whales just sending less bitcoins. Also here confirmed twice by this weights ratio 1 hour bottom. At the same time, stablecoin supply lifted up a little bit, just really a little bit. We are talking about 250 millions, and related to centralized exchange reserves related to stablecoins. Also here, for example, we are talking about 500 millions? I need to check that. No, of course not. 50 millions. That makes sense. So that's it. Let us go forward. So what we see here, I need just, because we had big inflows in the past, so I need just to make it clear, I need to zoom in a little bit. So let me disable the stablecoins first. So as you see, we are receiving more bitcoins. That's why I say we can even go lower. So we can, for example, just make a retest of our current bottom of 16.7 or whatever. Why? Well, if we go to the daily, we can see that, and you remember I was saying just that was mid of September, I said, The inflow activity is really big. I mean, we received September 13th 27,000 bitcoins in one day. And what happened afterwards? We dumped. Right now, we see that also here the daily inflow activity is rising at the moment at 23,000. That's really big, but at the same time, even the volume rised a lot. So I'm still not really sure if that's going to have an impact to the price or if it's priced in because they are just absorbing all these bitcoins while we are maintaining that level and even declining a little bit. So we see here the blue is the green candles, a lot of aggregated volume. Doesn't look that bad, to be honest. Absolutely not. And from Glassnode, I have to say, I still don't see those 200,000 bitcoins to centralized exchanges. To be honest, at least on CryptoQuant, they are not illustrated. So yeah, that's partly why I'm not using Glassnode. So I really can't confirm that yet. However, the whales are still sending bitcoins, but not that big like just before. That's what the weights ratio is declining. What does that mean? Not like just before, because right now, just for example, here in the last hours is lifting up, but we had here as well, for example, a very flat period where nothing happened. That was over the weekend, for example. Then it lifted up, but the maximum was, and that was September 19th, so yesterday, the maximum was since days 2,300 bitcoins in 1 hour. That's not really big. At the same time, and that's something why I think we could retest our current bottom of 17.7 or something, is because the inflow activity is here, but the outflow activity is not really big. And the Bitcoin reserves on centralized exchanges are lifting up, also indicating they're accumulating on centralized exchanges. And that's something we need to be careful. But at the moment, it still looks like we will not make, at the moment, new lows. And that's what I can see on metrics. So let us go forward. Well, once again, funding rate declined. Funding rate is lifting up, indicating they are demanding more longs at the moment, while the price is or was following. Right now, the price is doing the opposite. It's declining, while the leverage, the funding rate maintains its on its level. So it's not declining. It's not indicating that people are demanding more shorts. At the same time, open interest, I mean, if we see that was the level before the dump and we are right now here. So it takes time to recover. What is recovering now quick is the leverage ratio. So just to make here a comparison, if the leverage ratio was here, the leverage ratio is now here. So also indicating they are recovering very quick. Gamblers are back on the table. And we know what does that mean while the funding rate is lifting up, so indicating high leverage longs, and we know what that means, and that's the usual pattern. If they want to move up, they will shake out the longs as much as they can, and when everyone is saying no, I'm not going to long anymore because they are going to liquidate me, they will push up. So at the moment, that's how it looks like. I can't tell you how it will look in 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or 4 weeks. I just can tell you how it looks at the moment. Well, stablecoin to derivative exchanges. Yesterday was a nice day, so indicating, I guess, and that explains why also the funding rates were just lifting up, I guess, is they started too long. And the price followed. But as we can see here, people are taking profit. So just outflows rising. If we check, for example, Bitcoins, we can see on the Bitcoin side to derivative exchanges, they are just taking profit. Absolutely. That's what's happening. So we have here even more outflows than inflows at the moment. If we go forward, the aggregated view is, as mentioned, we have here the open interest, we have here the leverage ratio, we have here the funding rate. Open interest, yeah, and that's the funding rate. So it looks exactly what I have showed you just a few minutes ago. At the same time, we also see here they liquidated all these shorts here, but it's peanuts compared to the longs that they liquidated. In my opinion, something similar is going to happen. I can imagine we will move up again to collect more longs and then go down again just to shake them out. I don't know how many times they will play this game, but I guess as long as they notice that people are longing and longing and longing every time when we go down, it's just showing them, however it's shaking out all the time, it's showing them we are far away from a capitulation, far away. So if that's the goal, that can take a while. And on Binance, looks similar. Only open interest, absolutely flat. Yes, the leverage ratio is also here lifting up, but nothing big. And here, they demanded a lot of longs. Right now, it seems demanding more shorts, but you know, that's why the price don't want to push up very hard and maintains in this downward channel, and every time they are just liquidating all these longs all the time. BitMEX, I guess shorts are coming? No. Once again, no. So shorts maintaining that very low level compared to the longs. We have almost 69% of longs while only 31% of shorts. That's not big at all. On Bitfinex, opposite, they reduced the longs once again. Even the shorts are not coming, but in my opinion, they on Bitfinex, if it maintains above of at 2 billions, and it's not a 2.2 or 2.3, it means they are not hatching anymore. So I guess they distributed everything, but also here we need to see, it's really just too early to say that. However, 62% of longs on Ethereum, while 38% on shorts. Once again, it looks much healthier on Ethereum than on Binance. Than on Bitcoin, sorry. Kingfisher. Let us take a look what Kingfisher is telling us. 12 credits. Give me a little bit more, please. I would love to have some more. Oh, that's my lucky day. 10. Great. So let us take a look if something changed between FTX and and Binance. I guess I need to refresh the site and hopefully then it's going to work. Wow. Okay, it changed. Even the volume, it seems the liquidation volume lifted up a little bit. We had 30 millions, that was extremely low. Now we have 50 millions. If we check, we have at least here 19,500. Another cluster that looks much more attractive than on the long side. So as just mentioned, without to see this liquidation map was to go up, collect more longs and go down, because then this cluster would rise a little bit more and then liquidate and shake out these longs once again. So let us see what's happening here, just to make a comparison to FTX. For me, why I'm doing that, and nobody is asking about that, that's the most curious thing, is I just want to see the structure between Binance and FTX. Because if the structure is similar, that could be an indicator that one single actor is using FTX and Binance futures at the same time. And that could be a very interesting information, because that's what, at least based on bot activity, I noticed in the past. FTX is using Binance, while, for example, Bitfinex is using Huobi, Deribit, OKEx, and so on and so forth. So let us take a look what is indicating here. However, if they want to liquidate this here, we need to go to 15K. As mentioned, I still don't think we are going to make new lows this year, but the market is surprising me sometimes, so it wouldn't wonder if that happens, but I'm not trading it. It's not part of my trading strategy, to be honest. So let us see. At that part, very accurate in my opinion, even this part here, and that's interesting because both would be mid leverage. It starts very flat, very low, okay, here as well, but once again, look that. What is that? 1,800. No millions. I don't know what that is. However, we see that at least on liquidation, on the liquidation map, it's also for FTX even more interesting to liquidate those here at 18,700 than to go and to liquidate those here at 19.7. The question is, who is going to shake out? If Binance is the main driver, you know what's going to happen. They will push up to 19.5, 19.6 to liquidate the shorts. Or if it's FTX, it's clear we will go down to 18.7, 18.8 to liquidate all these longs. So that's something we need to see, at least based on volume. I would say Binance much more interesting than FTX. So let us go forward. So if we check that, we can see that FTX is clearly not on the accumulation side. I mean, if we take a look to the aggregated CBD here and we compare that to the FTX CBD, while the price is lifting up, they use that opportunity to distribute even more. That doesn't look very bullish, in my opinion, related to FTX at least. If we do the same, for example, here on Binance, it looks a little bit different. It's a one-to-one copy of the aggregated one just because of the volume. Its volume, liquidity is the biggest on Binance, of course. So everything is just following Binance, as you can see. Even here, stablecoin, collateral futures, Bitcoin, collateral futures, and so on and so forth. It's really crazy. So then we have Bitfinex. What is Bitfinex doing? Well, look what is Bitfinex doing. Bitfinex is still distributing. Okay, they are distributing here, they distributed even here, and they are not really buying. Absolutely not. Also very interesting what they are doing, because I didn't expect that. And well, I mean, Coinbase. What should I say about Coinbase? It seems Coinbase is really the main driver when it comes to buy, because you know, they don't really distribute at all. Just sometimes, and I think when they are doing that, it's mostly maybe some panic sells or whales that wants to push the price down, but that's it. MicroStrategy did announce today that they bought 300 Bitcoin. That's crazy. I at the beginning I thought that was a joke, but no, it was not. They spent some millions, 6 million US dollars to buy 300 bitcoins or something. So I would not even announce such kind of thing. But however, so yeah, maybe that was MicroStrategy, or who knows. But as you see, I mean, Coinbase is definitely on the bullish side all the time, just buying, at least related to the CBD. Now let us take a look what's happening here. This guy's declining a little bit, but still bullish. This guy's here also lifting up, bullish. This guy's here lifting up, bullish. So as usual, entities with less than 100 bitcoins bullish on Bitcoin and buying, at least their balances lifting up. This guy's here declined, so indicating once again buy, sell, buy, sell. That's what they are doing, always with making quick profit. I don't know why these entities have always the same trade behavior. I can't tell you that. And the market maker entities, I label these guys market maker. I don't know if it's the market maker, but you know, the market maker has the best trade behavior, and that's why I called them just market maker. They went down to a new low of, we can't see that now, but yeah, I don't know why, of 4,890,000 bitcoins. So it seems they declined by 2,000-3,000 bitcoins or something, and afterwards they pushed up their balances. While, for example, as you can see here, these entities, mainly related to centralized exchanges like Bitfinex, Kraken, Binance, Coinbase, and so on and so forth, are declining. That's something usually when that means someone took profit or withdraw their bitcoins off centralized exchanges, and that matches once again very nice to the market makers, because that's something, for example, they like to do. They use, for example, their bitcoins to send to derivative exchanges to long with them as a Bitcoin collateral future, take profit, withdraw, and send them just a few days later when the price maybe went up, for example, or if they need a new dip or whatever they want to do, because it's for me still a secret what it's in their minds. But however, usually that is maybe yeah, some bitcoins to dump afterwards. We need to see, because that's what they love to do always. That's what they are doing. Doesn't look like accumulation at the moment, not yet. So we need to see what's going to happen. We can check here the last big move that the market maker did was with a fund flow of 1,000 bitcoins, and that correlates always. I mean, fund flow 1,500 bitcoins, and afterwards 1,200 bitcoins, and even here 2,000 bitcoins, price goes down. These guys, once again, here active, the price goes down. I don't know why they are so bearish. I really don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know why they are so bearish. Yeah, otherwise, nothing big to see here. Centralized exchanges, Bitcoin reserves lifting up a bit. That's something, as you know, every time that happens, afterwards we dumped. Doesn't mean we don't go up first. So something that could happen, even go up a little bit more to dump afterwards. That looks a little bit like preparation, in my opinion. Just to make clear, once again, when now someone is saying, he says he is not expecting a new bottom, but yeah, we have a bottom at 17.7. It's possible that we retest that one. For that, with the aggregated volume we have at the moment, they need, of course, to accumulate first and to dump afterwards. So it's still possible, but at the moment I don't see the huge inflows coming to centralized exchanges, to spot ones. Something that happened in June, in April, in May, and so on and so forth. So that's it. That's absolutely it. Only spot market looks really, even, well, futures recovering a little bit, but spot market is dying. It's really dying. I really, wow, it's crazy. It's really crazy what's happening. Well, we are done here. So let us start with Coinbase. As we see, they placed a wall at 22k, nothing big. They have some walls here at 20,000, for example, and 20,150. And yeah, well, then next wall would be at 18k. We have something here at 18.6, but nothing big, to be honest, absolutely not. And we need to see, but yeah, it's possible that they want to trigger this one last order before to go up, because afterwards we see here some volume. As you see, we can reduce a little bit here, and you will see, you see here, that's a big wall. I mean, they reinforce these walls when the price comes down even more. So I can imagine that the price goes down to here, 17.8, maybe even go a little bit more down to make this double bottom from our current bottom, and then go up again. Something where I can imagine that many would expect we can go down even more and then go short, and that could flip a little bit the long short ratio, also possible. But as you know, every time when we dumped before, we had a pump. So Deribit, nothing. I don't see nothing. They just removed the wall at 20,800. Bitstamp. Also here nothing. Still waiting here. 17.9. But they removed here some liquidity at 17.7 and shifted to 17.6. Binance. Well, you can see what Binance is doing, because I was expecting here bounce. Not sure if that's just a dead cat bounce, or if they want to retest the upper area. However, also here a new placed wall at 20,135. So it's possible that we go even more down and then up again. So we need to see also here to shake out people. That's what they love to do. So also here we see we can go down to 18,000, and then here some volume starts. And usually when that happens, it's indicating they just want to reduce the pace of a potential dump. And then, well, we have the next wall at 17.5. So also very interesting, 75, 17.6. Bitfinex. New wall at 21. Another new wall at 17.5. Come on, are you fracking kidding me? Are you really? What the hell is that? Okay, I got the message. I got it. I will short it. Let us go up first. Let us make 21k before we go to 17.5. What the... Wow. Okay, that's crazy. That's really crazy. We were talking about 17.5 and my scenario in mind, and then you see that Bitfinex is placing a wall at 17.5. Even, I mean, the biggest is at 16, but wow. So FTX perp, short positions 20,450 and 20,000, long positions We need to reduce volume to see that. They shifted something at 17.2. The biggest one would be at 16.5. Yeah. So nothing with, in my opinion, really useful. OKEX, nothing. Kraken here at 18, and everything below 17.5 absolutely protected, it seems, and 17.5 once again reinforcing these walls, and you can see the volume here. So at the same time here at 20k, are these guys really just directly dump to go up afterwards? Wouldn't surprise me, but it's not part of my strategy. So next 17.9 we still have on BitMEX here, also relatively new, but not big at all, as you see. But it matches to the other exchanges. They are limiting the way up at 21k. So if we take a look here, we can see the next big wall would be at 17.2. And we have here something, but also not big at all. No, at 17.5 and 18. So absolutely not big at all. Binance Futures. What is Binance Futures indicating us? Binance Futures right now limiting a little bit the way down at the current 19,000. But, well, they are waiting for longs at 15k. That would be absolutely new lows, and then I was wrong, like I was with 24k. Something I called since last yesterday. I said, that is going to be the bottom. So, Bitfinex derivatives. Oh, come on. 18,100. And still here waiting at 16. They are... So they want to long at 18k, but they want to buy spot at 17.5. That's interesting. Okay. Kraken Futures, nothing. OKEX Futures, nothing. And FTX Spot, also limiting the way up at 20,300. New wall at 14.6. New wall at 49. New wall at 15.7. Uh-oh. Oh, you see that they are reinforcing big here. Uh-oh. Oh, Jesus. And then we have all this stuff here. Something is happening. FTX planning something. While still distributing at 19k. I don't like that. Okay, that's it. Personal conclusion. It's going to be a challenge for me today. So, let us go.